These thoughts up in my head, things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here.
I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I'm your host, Ed, and as always, journey with me as we keep our faith in a world full of chaos. We are back with another episode, and I pray that you had an amazing week. I pray that you kept your faith. I pray that you talked to God this week and just allowed Him to work in your life and put you forward wherever it was you were trying to go. But in all things and everything that you do, keep God with you. It's going to be a good life when you do it that way. So I hope all is well. We're back with a new episode. So I hope that this blesses you and that it encourages you as well. And as always, if you're new here, we try to keep our faith in the world full of chaos because there's so much craziness that's happening. And if you're a returner, a person that has been consistently with me, I thank you. I appreciate your support. Tell a friend to tell a friend, trying to just get this out to as many people as I can. It's not about popularity or how many views, but it's more so just touching people's lives and praying that they make a connection with Christ themselves. All right. Today's episode is called Time with God. We're going to talk about timing and all that good stuff. This is an area that I need to improve on, and I'm sure others need to improve on as well. And it's one of those things that we overthink from time to time, which is ironic because we think we have all this time. We don't really. But we're going to talk about it. So hopefully we get blessed today. All right, cool. Okay. As always, I start off every episode with my question. And this question, I think, is one that I had to think about for myself and then just for myself, not myself, and having conversation with people about different things. But it made me kind of hone in on this. So my question to you this week: how do you spend your time with God? Actually, that's not my question. The question is above that. Act like that didn't happen. This is live. Okay, here we go. The question of the week is spending time with God a priority? That's the question I want to ask you. Is spending time with God your priority? Now, how do you spend that time? That's what I was trying to get into. When you consider things that are in your lives, goals that you want to reach, things you want to accomplish, stuff you need to do, you will prioritize what's important and then you will go after those things. The other things kind of fall to the side. So, if you're struggling with spending time with God, if you're struggling with trying to connect with Him, connect with His Word, then I guess you have to ask yourself, have you prioritized God in your life? Or is it just one of those things like you get to when you get to? Do you spend time with God when you feel like it? When you're just like, well, I guess I'll spend time now. Like, I ain't got nothing else going on. So hey, God, and it's a quick conversation of everything you need and everything that you're wanting and everything that you want to do, but you don't really acknowledge what He's done and where He's been and how He's blessed you. Is it one of those things? Do you only talk to God when it's, oh Lord, I done lost my job, I need you, or oh Lord, I'm struggling in this, I need you? Do you ever talk to Him when you have what you need? Do you ever thank Him when you get what you need? Or is it always just you coming to Him whenever it's, oh, okay, well, I need something, I'll call on God now. But once I got it, okay, God, you go back to where you were. I'm good. Do we do that? Do we treat the time spent with God like it's a checklist, like it's just a thing I have to do? Like, and what I mean by that is it's good to have a list of things you want to do, but is it just one of those things like, well, let me hurry up and talk this so I can cross that off my list? Is that what it is? Or is it more a thing of, I need this? I need to connect with God before I do anything. I need to spend time. I need to pray. I need to listen to worship music. I need Him before I can do anything else. I think the best thing that you can do before you even start your day is to give that day to God. In other words, you wake up, that's the first blessing that you ever receive. Is the fact that you are awake and alive to see another day. That's number one. Number two, what are you going to do with that day? Because you can plan out the whole day. You can put into motion what you think may work, but you don't know what the world holds, and you don't know what God's plan is for you. So why would you not ask God to guide your way when he knows the plans that he has for you? Like when we create these things, and there's nothing wrong with having goals. There's nothing wrong with planning out a day. There's nothing wrong with that. But are you taking God with you in every step? Or are you only asking God something when it's convenient for you? Are you only coming to him like, "Oh Lord, if you bless me with this money, then I'll do good. Oh Lord, I need if you bless me with this job, or if you bless me with this spouse." Like, is it just a one-way street? Are you listening to what God's saying too? Because that's a part of spending time as well. If you're not listening to what God is telling you, then you're never going to be able to walk the path that he has for you. If God's telling you don't go that way, and you look at him like he has no clue what's going on, and you go that way and you get hurt, there's no way you can sit there and blame God for, "Oh, well, you didn't give it to me, I can't stand it." No, you didn't listen to him. He told you specifically, don't go there. And you took it upon yourself to think that you were better than God himself and went that way. You can't blame anybody in that situation except you. That's why it's so important to spend time, because in those moments of things that maybe you don't have a lot of clarity on, God can provide clarity. In those moments of chaos, God can provide peace. In the moments of doubt and uncertainty, he can tell you, "Cast your anxiety on me because I care." So spending time allowing God to work within you, you being able to talk to him, but also twice as important, listening to him. That time spent is an investment in your life. And if you don't invest in yourself with the Most High, you're letting anybody and anything come into your life, and it just might be your downfall. So be careful with how you spend your time, and be careful with who you spend your time with. Time with God spent is not time wasted. So I hope you get that. But also don't just look at this as like, "Oh, I guess I got to do this thing." No, it's an honor. It is a blessing to be able to wake up and be like, "Oh, God bless me to see another day." Even if the day before was terrible, even if the day before made me feel less than, even if the day before threw a bunch of plans into my life that I just did not want to deal with. On the service level, it looks insane. But internally and in my spirit, I know that if it's in front of me, God will get me through. God will prepare a way. And there used to be that saying, guys gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Listen, let me tell you something about that. Sometimes I don't want to be strong. So sometimes I just want God to carry me through and not have to do all the work. But I would say, if you feel that way, just know that if it looks unbearable, even if it is the toughest battle, and God won't put on you more than you can handle. No, that's not true. God, there's a lot that can be put on us, some of it through God's blessings and some of it just through life in general. What I do know is that I know who is going to equip me to get through. And the other thing too is, maybe it's that difficult, so that way you know that you can't do it on your own, and that the only way you are going to make it through is through God. Have you thought about it that way? Just think about that and ask yourself, in those moments, am I relying on my own strength, or am I doing exactly what I'm supposed to do and giving it to God so he can prepare my way? So another thing with time is that, you know, sometimes we think we have so much. And one thing I've learned, it was one thing that I've learned, through coaching, working, stuff like that. I've had players who are no longer here. There's kids that I've watched go through high school, and then they're not gonna see the age of 30. They're not able to be a parent, and it's unfair, because it's almost as if you feel guilty because you got all this time, or you got more time than they did, and they never really got the chance to see different things. But it lets you know just how precious time is. So it's not so much about, do I have enough time? It's more so, how am I spending the time that I have? Um, And another thing with that too is that since we don't know, and I think this is why people don't like Philip Anthony Mitchell so much, is because he'll tell you up front, time is running out. You got to get right with Christ. You got to read your word. You got to pray. You got to study. And some people don't like that raw truth, but the reality is that because you don't know, it's best to invest that time now. So that way, when the time comes, you have built that relationship with Christ and that you don't need to worry about anything. But if you're not spending that time, that uncertainty of what if, there's a quote that I found I saw it on the internet. It's Crystal Payne. I have no idea who this person is, but the quote makes sense. It says, "You may think you do not have time to feed yourself spiritually, but I assure you that you cannot afford not to." So in other words, in this world and how crazy things are, prioritize making that time to feed yourself spiritually, because if you don't, you will starve to death. If you don't feed yourself with the word, the daily bread, then you will suffer, because you will try to go through this life feeding off of everything else. Give me a second. Get out of here. I don't even know why that came through on my phone. Boy, I tell you what, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Anyway, here's what I was saying. What I said was, okay, let's dial this back. So we're talking about spiritual things here. And we're talking about feeding yourself spiritually. Give us this day our daily bread. So God has blessed us with a day. God has blessed us with an opportunity. When you wake up in the morning, most times, often than not, you're hungry. So you got to feed yourself, right? And the same action, feed yourself spiritually. So you're being fed the daily bread. So you know what to do to prepare for what the world may bring. So you know to take your full armor with you. So you know that God is with you always, that you can trust in him, and you can lean not on your own understanding, and he will direct your path. He will give you the mercies of the day. He can give you a peace that you have never felt before in your life, in this crazy world of chaos, when everything else is going crazy around you and people are going, how are you standing strong? You fed yourself. But if you do not spiritually feed yourself, you will starve to death. Do not feed off of what the world gives you. Don't feed off of people's emotions. Don't feed off of their actions. Don't feed off of their approval, because the same way that you're feeding off that, you'll starve from it if they don't give it to you. Who can truly fulfill you, the world or God? Speaking of which, what does the Bible say about spending time with God? Does the Bible talk about that? Of course it does. Everything that we deal with is biblical, which is why you need to read the word. I found two verses. There's two that I really want to focus on. So one, I think a lot of people know, and one is something that, obviously we can build on. And it was new to me. So if it's new to me, I want to make sure I share it. But the first one of the ways to spending time with God, Matthew 6, verse 33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. The first thing we should do with our time, seek his kingdom. Seek him. Of course, I looked at my Faith app, and in the Faith app, it says our primary focus should be on God's kingdom and living righteously according to his will. And the second part is when we prioritize God, there's that word again. When we prioritize God, he promises to provide for our needs. God loves a faithful and obedient servant. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Be faithful to God. Be obedient to God's word. Listen to what he's telling you, because he's giving you game. He's giving you the truth. He's showing you how to navigate through life. You count on him. You can lay your burdens on him. You don't have to carry everything that is given to you. God is telling you, come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest. I will do that. Stop trying to take this all on your own. You trying to do it all on your own, and you going to run out of time. And the whole time when you sitting there, knowing that in the moment, this is it, there's going to be a point like, I should have gave it to God. I would have had so much more. Yes, you have time to turn away from the ways of which you don't want to go and come back to God. So seek his kingdom. And the big thing that they said is he assures us that by putting God first, everything else will fall into place according to his perfect plan, not your plan, his plan. And he knows the plans that he has for you. So if he knows the plans and he knows who you are, why would you not seek his kingdom when he's the one that created you? You were made in his image. So, in that sense, why would you not spend the time with the one that created you? Why would you not spend the time with the one that loves you, that wants you to have life and live it abundantly? Why would you not spend time with him? He wants you to spend time with him. He wants you to be close to him. He loves you so much. Even when you feel like you are unlovable, even when you feel like you've gone so far away, I promise you, he loves you so much. All he's doing is standing there with open arms. Now, just imagine if he's waiting on you to turn back and you go hug him. Think about that hug you get every single day when you spend time with him. He loves you that much. So spend time. It's really a beautiful thing when you do it. Another verse that I think that you should focus on is First Chronicles chapter 16, verse 11. This verse states, "Seek the Lord and his strength. Seek his face continually." Now, the faith app breaks this down into three different things. The first one is seek the Lord, which is make God your primary pursuit in life or your priority. The second thing, and his strength, which means rely on his power, not your own, which you can also look at Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your understanding. You are literally relinquishing your power and saying, I don't understand these things, but I trust you, Lord. So, and his strength. The third thing, seek his face continually. Make this seeking a constant daily practice. So if every day you are seeking after God, if every day you are spending time and you're putting yourself in a position to know who he is and what he does and how he blesses and how he's going to help you navigate, your life will be significantly better. Because how many times have you walked around aimlessly wondering, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I feel so lost, and God is the shepherd that's going to leave the 99 to get the one. If you feel so lost and you turn around and say, Lord, I need you, he's going to come meet you where you are. And then when he does, the best thing that you can do at that moment, when you know he's came back and he got you, follow him and watch how life changes for the better for you. Another big thing that this talks about, broken down through the faith app. And all I do is ask when I look at these things, I take the verse and I say, can you break down boom, 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 boom. And it gives me a nice little summary. It's one of the best tools you can use. So please download the Faith app. It will break down so many Bible verses for you and give you better understanding. And this was a verse, like I said, I hadn't really looked at before. But this is powerful. Here's what the summary was. Our relationship with God should be intentional and ongoing. It's not a one-time event, but a continuous journey of drawing closer to him through prayer, worship, and studying his word. Prayer, pray without ceasing. Worship, listen to gospel music. I'm telling you right now, Christian hip hop is amazing. And there's so many great artists that are out there that will profess their love for Christ. And if I'm being honest, it slap better than some of this music that y'all listen to on the radio. And plus, the radio stuff is all the same anyway. But when you turn it over to say like Jay Monty, Caleb Gordon, Tommy Zuko, Alex Jean, Forrest Frank, Hovey, I know I'm forgetting people. No Big Deal, Lecrae, Andy Mineo. Who else I listen to? There's so many people I listen to. That's the problem. Anyway, I could go on and on. If y'all ever want a playlist, let me know. But I got a lot of songs, and there's so many great things that happen, and new people that are like going through that. Christian hip hop is great, but of course, if you old school gospel music, man, let me tell you, go on a walk with God and put on some gospel music and just watch how everything just changes drastically. I was at a track last week. I put on just old gospel music. Hezekiah Walker, Fred Hammond. What else was I listening to? I mean, I got a whole list of it. Some old Kurt Franklin, just a bunch of stuff. And taking moments to look around and really observe, like, look at the birds in the sky, look at, people who are just kind of out living life, and they're, some people were working out, some people were just walking with family, but like, to know that we're in this world that God created, and how blessed that is, that's so amazing. That's all I'm saying. But spend time with God. Seriously, spend time with God. Studying his word. Get in your word, man. That's the best piece of advice my mom gave me. Get in your word. Get in your word and study. Because in every situation, if there's something you're not sure of, you can go to the Bible and ask God. And people strike me as just crazy when they're like, "Whoa, it's man made." Well, who else wrote it? Like, what? What do you mean it's man? Yeah, it's man made because like who man wrote it? Like, debunk that myth. I don't get it. Whatever. Be a believer. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Life is so much better when you believe in Christ. It may feel up and down and it's rough and rocky from time to time for sure, but be a believer because it's better for you to go through the ups and downs now than to be stuck in hell eternally. Anywho, spend your time. Prayer, worship, studying his word, those are so vital to everyday life. Sometimes you just got to stop where you are and put on a worship song so that way you don't crash out. God don't want you crashing out. He wants you checking in with him so that way he can give you the peace that transcends all understanding. Then you can be good about your day. And then people ask, why are you not? Well, I mean, I would have been this and that. And how come? Because God's got me. That's why. And when I pray to God, I can talk to him and say, Lord, I was about to crash out, but I thank you for blessing me and allowing me to come to you in all things. When I'm on top of the world, when I feel like I'm rock bottom, when I feel like I've lost my way, I can come to you any and everything. And Lord, I thank you for it all. It's a beautiful thing. So study it, prayer, worship him. It's a good thing. One thing I definitely want to share with you before I share my keys. When I was younger, I used to think I had so much time to do so much stuff. When you're little, you feel like you got this infinite bank of time, and life just moves in a way to where you feel like you live forever. As you get older, you start realizing that things change, people change, your body changes, your thoughts change, and you start realizing that you don't have as much time as you thought you did. And it's so important to value the time that you have. It's one of those things where you don't really think about it until it's too late. I want you to start thinking about it now. I had a panic attack one time because I was so worried about not having enough time to bless my kids and have money and all this stuff. And my body was just worrying. And I was like, I went through this spiral of what happens if I don't do this? What happens if I don't do that? And what happens if I lose my life and my kids don't have anything and my wife's by herself? And like my whole body just went into a fight or flight response. I had never had a panic attack before. It was one of the worst experiences I've had in my life, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. When I started talking to my therapist about it, one of the things she talked about was, a lot of people worry about it when they get older. But then I had to remind myself, I told her like I was a Christian and I was a believer. She said, well, how strong is your faith? And I had to remind myself, like, man, I'm sitting up here worrying and panicking when God has already had it planned out. That no matter what I do, God's got a plan. I just have to trust his plan. And I was so concerned with like, I'm not gonna have this time, I'm not gonna be able to do this and do that. But then I thought to myself, if I spend the time that I have worrying, then I'll never truly be able to enjoy the time that I've been given. So I decided to just be in the moment of things. Like when me and my youngest son, when he's struggling to go to bed, but he's laughing and giggling about something, I cherish that moment. When my oldest son is cracking jokes and talking about me being old and how he could beat me one on one, I love those moments because I prayed to be a father, so I get to share those time together. When my wife and I can just laugh and joke about stuff, or we could just chill, and she could send me funny reels. I send her funny reels. Like, that's great time for us because it lets us know we still connected. We can still come to each other and talk about our serious stuff, things that we need to do, things that we could do to better ourselves, but we can also laugh and joke. And she know I'm a goofball. That's why she married me, and because I'm handsome. But that's a different story. What I'm saying is like I'm so grateful because there was a time where I didn't even think I would have this, but now that I have it, I'm going to enjoy every single day I get, because since I don't know how much time I have, I might as well enjoy the time that I'm given. We view time as something we always have, but eventually it's going to run out. I challenge you to cherish your time, so that way you can truly enjoy the life that God has intended you to have. Please cherish it. Before I wrap up, as always, I got 3 keys that I think we should focus on for this week. First key, prioritize God daily. Daily. Don't ever let a day go by where you don't take God with you. This world is built to steal, kill, and destroy, very much like the devil. It'll tell us all the things that we need. The new body image, the new car, the new job, the new amount of money we supposed to get. But do you have true happiness within yourself? Do you have a Father that's guiding you? Do you have God with you daily? Are you able to protect yourself when the world tries to attack you, when the devil is trying to attack you? The devil crazy, ain't he? But at the same time, my God is awesome because I know my God will equip me. He's got me in full armor. Whatever weapon you form, and won't harm me anyway. So no matter what you try to do to me, I got God with me. So God already know what you gonna do. The thing is, you don't know what God's gonna do. And that's the blessing, because if I'm staying in connection with God and I'm connected with the Father, then there's absolutely nothing this world can do to me. There's nothing that the world can offer me that's better than anything that God will give me. Everything that the world gives you is temporary. What God gives you is eternal. And I'd rather have eternal life with God than have temporary riches and lose it all in this world. I'm rich with God. I'm broke when I don't have them. Prioritize your time with God, mainly because you want to be able to live a great life, but your life will be so much richer and greater with God in it, more than with him without it. So keep God first in your life and prioritize him daily. Start your day with him, so that way the day is blessed. That's how much God loves you. Number 2, trust God's timing. We want to rush so bad. When we see it, we think it, we want it overnight. And I have said this before, but I'll say it again. When you rush the process, you disrupt the journey. Do not disrupt your journey because you are impatient with the way God is moving. There may be a reason why God is moving slower than you want him to. And sometimes God may move a lot faster than what you want him to, and you don't feel prepared. But God knows you. God knows where you need to be. He will make a way out of no way. He's already gone forward and prepared spaces for you that you don't even know exist yet. He just needs you to follow him. He just needs you to keep praying, and he needs you to trust him. And if you can do those things and you do them obediently daily, even when you're frustrated, even when you feel like, okay, this is too much, even when you feel like, all right, man, I just don't even know anymore, God still has you covered, and his timing is better than your timing. You might move quick and do it on your own and get to your destination and feel good about it, but you're going to be there unprepared. I'd rather God prepare the way. And if it takes a longer time to get there and God's blessed it, then it's going to be the most amazing thing I ever experienced. So sometimes don't be in such a rush to move. Just be faithful to how God is moving. The last thing I want to tell you, and this is key number 3, don't waste the time you have. It is so vital that with each day that we get, we thank God for it. And with every opportunity that we get, we should cherish the time that we have. The people you meet, the experiences you have, the families you have, the connections you have. If you gotta forgive somebody, please go forgive them. You haven't called somebody in a while, give them a call. If you haven't talked to somebody in a while and you need to mend something, mend that. Heal. And then go heal whatever relationship that needs to be healed. Don't waste this time going through life and then something unfortunate happens and then you're wondering what if. Because a lot of people will tell you, I wish I had more time. I wish I had more time. We don't know how much we're going to get. We don't know when time ends. So it's so important for you right now that in this moment and in these times that you have to just cherish the moments that God has given you, to truly enjoy the life that you have been blessed with. And we don't need to sit up here and compare and this life is better here, that low. Everybody has something in them that God has blessed them with. And when the time is right, God will unveil that to you so that way you can use it and use it correctly. Just make sure you don't waste it. And just don't be in it. Don't panic like I did. Don't worry about so much stuff. Don't worry about that. God's got that covered. Just trust him. When you prioritize him and you trust the timing, then you'll never waste time because you'll always have God with you. I want your soul to be saved. I want your life to be blessed by God. I never want you to feel like you're by yourself. I want you to know God has a plan for you. He's always had a plan for you. He loves you so much. So don't waste this time you have. And more importantly, remember who gave you the time in the first place. So trust him. Okay. I hope this was time well spent. I pray that you get something out of it. And at the end of the day, I just want what's best for you. I want you to be blessed by the Most High. Don't let this world tell you what they think you should be. Go to God so you know exactly who you're supposed to be. Your image, your connection, who you are lies in him, not what this world gives you. So always, always, always trust God, because the world will tell you lies to make you feel good. God will give you the truth that maybe sometimes feels bad, but at least you will know. And at the end of the day, when you have what God has given you, you know how to move correctly because he will order every step you take. Thank God for this moment. Okay. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Of course, I would be wrong if I didn't mention my brother's clothing line. As you can see, I got a pretty dope sweatshirt. You can find this at theurbanroyalty.com, Instagram, website. It's there. You need a hookup, holla at me or holla at the good folks over at Urban Royalty. They got you covered. Where do I stream? Of course, you can find me on Spotify. I'm also on Apple Podcasts, and you can find the video on YouTube. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I do want it to grow. I feel weird about like asking people to like and subscribe, but like, please, I just want y'all to enjoy the visual and the audio as well. So there's that. And then, of course, as always, on social media, you can find me over at Instagram on Overthinking Thoughts Pod. You can also find me on TikTok at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. So that's where I be. You know what I mean? Earlier in the video, I had a phone that rang. I don't know if y'all heard that. And if you did, I apologize. But they trying to interrupt what we had going on. Devil was getting scared because he knew we was about to, talk to God about who we are and our image. So he's always going to try to do something to distract you, which is why you need to keep God in everything that you do. And if you start your day off with God, then throughout the day, no matter what the enemy tries to do, God's right there. You got this. Cherish your time wisely. Okay. Have an amazing week. Be blessed. And, you need me. I got you. You need a prayer, reach out. You need some support. Whatever it is, I'm here. But as always, this is Ed with the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. And we out.